Standing as Tim Coker, pastor of Central Baptist Church in Darlington, South Carolina, offers today's invocation.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the salvation and the life that is ours in Jesus Christ. We thank you for this great place and this great sport that we love. We pray your blessing upon the drivers and their teams today as they compete. And we ask you to give us strength to live our lives for your glory, our talk matching our walk. Create within us a better city, a better community, a better culture, a better country. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Here today to honor America with the singing of our national anthem from Shaw Air Force Base, please welcome Staff Sergeant Adriana Bradley.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Time for the drivers to strap in. This one's a fast one, 200 miles. They'll be racing from Darlington Raceway. wins on the season for Cole Custer.
Austin Cindric, he is heading the victory lines.
Cindric is going to get the biggest win of his life.
Tyler Reddick is going to win at Bristol.
It's a big day for Christopher Bell.
Hell yeah!
Win number 6 for Christopher Bell.
On this weekend, the greatest test comes from the racetrack.
And all their talents on display from the track too tough to tame. Let's go down to pit road. Dave Burns.
Ricky Rudd was a NASCAR driver so tough he once duct taped his eyes open after a crash that swelled them shut. Hoping to embrace that toughness this weekend is Justin Allgaier. He's got a throwback scheme that harkens back to Ricky Rudd and his days of racing with Judy Dunleavy in the 90 car. Kelly?
Jeremy Clements' throwback scheme inspired by the iconic movie Days of Thunder in the Car, driven by Rowdy Burns. Burns' character played, of course, by actor Michael Rooker, who also serves as our NASCAR on NBC pitchman. Rooker says he wished he could be here today, but will certainly be keeping tabs on the performance of Jeremy Clements, who's looking for his 3rd straight top 10 finish, Marty.
Well, Kelly, if you were a NASCAR fan in the 90s, especially at the Xfinity Series, you knew the name Buckshot Jones. So the 00 today is Cole Custer. This is the paint scheme that Buckshot Jones had way back in the day. It was the Aquafresh colors back then. In fact, Buckshot's here at the track today, and they even went to the detail on the right side, Rick, to put Buckshot's name and his 2 win stickers from New Hampshire of 1998 and Milwaukee of 1996 on the right side of the car.
That is the attention to detail that the teams do so well on this throwback weekend. All of these drivers that we just heard about, they're going to have to deal with Denny Hamlin, a 5-time winner. He is in the field today. Let's get the engines fired. We'll go trackside for the command.
And now, race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome Commander-in-Chief, Veterans of Foreign Wars, William Doc Schmitz.
Hello, Teddy Davis. Start your engines.
Fired up. Man's been given saving fuel. Get fired up when you're ready.
The sweet sounds of horsepower. Yeah, that's right. Dale Earnhardt Jr. also in the field today. His 1 start in the Xfinity Series of 2019. So much success in his career, and he's going to have fun on the track today. NASCAR on NBC is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. Perfect for race fans.
It's a big day for Christopher Bell.
Hell yeah!
What a dominating performance.
Attaboy.
Win number 6 for Christopher Bell.
It has been a very impressive 2019 for Christopher Bell. He's going to start on the front row. He will be beside Ryan Blaney, who won the pole. Take a look at the starting grid. It'll go across the bottom of your screen. And with this throwback weekend, we've all had the opportunity to pick out a few of the paint schemes that we like. Jeff, we'll start with you. Which one is your favorite?
I like this one car, Michael Annett. Michael Annett, the 1992 Baby Ruth paint scheme. This was the last year Jeff Gordon ran the Xfinity Series, and he'll kind of open the floodgates because in '93 he went Cup Rookie of the Year, and the following year 10 rookies went for it in 1994. He opened in '95. He opened the door because of the success he was having.
Well, you mentioned the next year, 1994. That's the year I'm going to go to for my throwback. The number 11 of Justin Haley. Haley making his first start. One of 8 drivers today making their first start here at Darlington. Well, he's going back to your car, old buddy. Jeff Burton's 94 Rebestis scheme that you ran back then in the Rookie of the Year battle. That's a good-looking car.
I hope he does better than I do.
Well, I think my favorite is actually right behind that 11, and the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. is pretty cool when you can throw back to your dad, and that's, of course, Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s 1975 10,000 RPM speed equipment Dodge. Of course, running that back in '75, that paint scheme. So Junior running it today here at Darlington. We can actually chat with Dale Earnhardt Jr. We'll hold on one second. It sounds like they're on the radio, but we'll be able to chat with him a little bit before this race starts. Let's dial him up.
Hey, Junior, it's your friends up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. What's up?
How about this paint scheme, man? Well, tell me what it means to you.
Well, it means a lot. This is Dad's first Cup Series paint scheme, 1975, car owned by Ed Degree. And want to bring awareness to not only Dad and his story, but Ed Degree and that family. Norman Degree still works in the sport today with Stuart Haas. A lot of fun. Good looking car. Real happy with it.
All right, well, how about you, man? You've been out of the seat for about a year. How you feeling about today?
You saw qualified, so inactivity and inexperience got me. Hopefully I can figure out what I need to do in this race. If you think back to Chicago, when Logano and those guys were running, he said it took him a while to get used to these cars and how they drive, what he needs to do. So I'm sure hopefully in the middle part of this race I might figure something out.
Something tells me you will. Good luck, buddy. Have fun, man.
Dude.
We're going to ride along with a few different drivers. Of course, we'll be with Dale Earnhardt Jr. He has the Chevrolet onboard camera.
I like this shot. We can look back, see him putting some work in. That 11 of Justin Haley has the leaf filters onboard camera and also has the helmet cam. Not sure this view is going to take my breath away up there around the wall.
How about this cam looking back? The Tyler Reddick Sonic cam. Going to get some great shots at the workload the drivers are going to have today. They are going to have their hands full.
20 of Christopher Bell starting on the front row with the Toyota onboard camera.
These guys are going to be working today. So much is made of how rough and abrasive the racing surface is here at Darlington. So tires a premium, and as soon as those go away a little bit, the hands will be full of the drivers behind the wheel. Let's get a few more updates before the green flag flies. Let's go down to Dave.
And Rick, to that point, you heard Ryan Blaney after scoring the pole for today's race say, these cars drive a lot different than they used to. I had a hard time getting up to speed yesterday. Well, he certainly did. He ran it to the pole this afternoon, and Blaney seems to be picking up right where he left off when he knew what they handled like, Kelly.
Noah Gregson drives the 9 car. He's making his first start here at Darlington, but the rookie participated in a 2-day test here, and his confidence is high. He was among the fastest in both practice sessions yesterday and wasted no time finding his speed up against the wall. His game plan today is to treat this like the start of the playoffs, Marty.
Kelly, Denny Hamlin has 5 Darlington wins, all of those from the pole. So today a much different challenge because Hamlin will start at the back of the field in a backup car after contact with the wall in practice yesterday. Hamlin excellent at this racetrack. He is going to put on a show today, no doubt about it. And Rick, before you think it can't be done, just remember 2 weeks ago, Tyler Reddick started last and came back to win at Bristol.
It's very hard to doubt the talents of Denny Hamlin, especially right now. He has been very hot, especially in the Monster Energy Cup Series. He already has 4 wins on that side. So now getting ready to see if he can get his 6th win in the Xfinity Series. But a lot of people wondering how long will it take him maybe to get into the top 10? Is there a number that we can throw out there to get Denny up there in contention?
Well, he's going to be attacking early. You know, the struggle of Darlington, what makes this one of the things that makes this racetrack so challenging is just how narrow it is. Why there seems to be a lot of pavement out there. The actual racing groove is very narrow. So I do think he has a fast race car. He's going to have to pick and choose his spots. But I still think by lap 15, lap 20, he's going to be attacking that top 15, top 10.
The man setting the pace in the 12, Ryan Blaney, won the pole. Christopher Bell, 6 wins already in the Xfinity Series. In the 20, will start on the inside of row 1. A quick race, 147 laps. They'll be right up against the wall here at Darlington. Up through the gears they go, and they'll dive into turn 1. Already, we're seeing him get awful close to the wall on the exit of turn 2.
Not sure if that was Reddick or the 00. Custer got in the wall just a little bit.
And how quickly Christopher Bell has fallen back to 3rd.
Justin Allgaier with a really good start on that outside. This corner right here, 1 and 2, is the most difficult corner in NASCAR to run side by side through. Took advantage of it on that start, pick up 2 spots.
Here's Denny making the move. We knew it was going to be exciting to see what he was going to be able to do. Denny already up to 21st.
Look what Denny Hamlin's doing. You're going to see a lot of drivers early in the run running the bottom of 3 and 4. Denny Hamlin's running against the wall. Feels like that's going to be better on his tires for a long run.
And this is a pass. You talk about the difficulty right here. You get the position in the middle of the corner, and then the 90 wisely lets Denny Hamlin go. We have a side-by-side battle, 3 and 4. The 2 of Reddick was basically on the apron of the racetrack. Still, the left side's below that dotted white line. That is the apron. That's not even the racing surface, but they'll use it.
They just were fighting for that 3rd position, and Reddick has taken it away from Christopher Bell. Reddick on the move now as he'll try to reel in Justin Allgaier. Allgaier could be the surprise today. We've been surprised so far that he hasn't found victory lane as we see Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 trying to get by the 11 of Justin Haley.
That's a tough pass to try to make. He drove underneath Justin in the middle of 1 and 2, and I think he believed Justin would let him go on the exit of 2, but Justin fought back. Earnhardt Jr. going to take it now.
Junior goes by, he's 12th. Now up to 11th actually with that pass. Christopher Bell trying to stop the slide going backwards as Cole Custer even looked on the inside.
Yeah, this 20 car is just not what we're used to seeing. I mean, we normally see winning type speed. Currently, the 20 is playing defense as the 7 of Allgaier up, sliding around, and the 2 of Reddick showing again while his name continues to come up. The defending series champion having a great year, his first year at RCR.
Are the tires already gone for these guys, Jeff? I mean, we're seeing a lot of sliding around already.
They fall off quickly here. You see that sliding around by Allgaier. That's only going to make it worse. So it's in his best interest just to slow up a little bit. Don't worry. But see right there behind him, Custer almost in the wall again. But big loose. You see right here, drives in the corner. The back of the car rolls around. And that tells me his car is very loose. And that sliding across the racetrack is just going to start shearing the rubber off those rear tires. He's going to have to back the pace down a little bit. Still 39 laps to go. That may not sound like mini, Steve, but that will eat tires up, and in 39 laps, you can be really, really slow.
You're on board right here with the 2 of Reddick, and you see those corrections and saves.
Looking that line. Outside even with him. You can roll to him here down the front, still by 8 of them.
And this, I think, is what we expected. After talking to Junior in practice, he said, you know, listen, my car perhaps is better than me to get this race started. I got to figure it out. I'm not very good on new tires. I don't think that's my car. I think that's me as well. But once they settled in, we expect him to move up through the field. He's currently in the 9th position. And much like the 8, it seems to be that the 20 of Christopher Bell, who was losing spots earlier in that red, white, and black number 20 right there, is now moving back on the offense, trying to pass Allgaier in that blue and white number 7.
Steve, many times that's just setup, right? That's just your car. See, the 7 car is still really loose. Bell recognizes that.
But this is a trend for this racetrack. All the crew chiefs I talked to said this first run is always freer or looser than the rest of the race. They're not sure if it's because the track sits, not a lot of activity today, just qualifying for both series, no real practice. But they have all in their notes, survive to the first stage end, don't panic, don't tighten your car up. They feel the track is going to head that way.
The stages go 45 laps, and then the final stage is 57 laps. Again, it's a 200-mile race, and already 8 laps complete on lap 9.
So far, plus 23 for Denny Hamlin, trying to get 2 more spots right here with a race car he says is really, really, really tight. That's 3 really, so I'm assuming he does not like the handling of the car right now. But Jeff, a little nuance for the 18 team this weekend. Chris Lambert is Denny's normal spotter in the Cup Series, but Denny only runs 1 Xfinity Series race a year, so Lambert works for Brandon Jones, his teammate. So Rick Corelli spotting for Denny Hamlin today, and when you're trying to come from last to first, you rely on that spotter. So how different is that for Denny Hamlin to hear a voice he didn't hear all year long in his ear today?
Yeah, that's a trend that started several years ago in regard to spotters. Spotters more stick with the crew chiefs than the drivers, and the crew chiefs want to have that common conversation. They want to be able to talk to the spotter on top of the building and be able to relay information. And really, that spotter is as much about the crew chief as it is the driver.
Saw Haley in the 11, that blue 11, just behind the 18 of Denny Hamlin, take a peek down there, trying to get back by Denny.
Heard the report was how tight Denny was in front of him, spinning.
Nemechek right in front of him.
And Denny may have escaped it, and Nemechek comes through a stop right there on the inside wall. So the first caution has come out.
That was a bird's eye view. I mean, you got my attention.
Watching that happen right in front of the 2 racing for position, Haley and Denny Hamlin. Not a lot of damage. See a little bit of a stripe there.
And you see at the top of your screen that black with the white numbers, that's the 23 of Nemechek, just gets loose, trying to get the power down on corner exit. The drivers behind do a nice job. Look right here. That's Denny Hamlin at the top in the red, Justin Haley in the blue. Haley with a big slide. That's impressive to avoid the spinning number 23.
You see, John Hunter Nemechek, we talk about this racetrack and the wear on the tires, and that's just trying to go to the throttle. It's only lap 12, trying to go to the throttle, and the rear tires just don't have enough grip. Look at that car, just comes around. Get used to it, Rick.
Yeah, at speeds of almost 170 miles an hour average around this racetrack.
Yeah, Rick, brand new tires is like driving on dry pavement. 10-lap tires is like wet pavement. Well, 20-lap tires is like ice. These guys are just trying to control their cars. And now here's the interesting thing in the Cup race. Tomorrow, you're going to see guys absolutely pit after 11 laps. Tires are so valuable, but only 4 sets of tires these teams have to manage through today. So while tires will be better and faster, can you afford to put a set on now? I bet you're going to see a few guys pit, but most of the leaders stay on the racetrack.
Is that Denny Hamlin? Is that Denny Hamlin on pit road?
Not a lot of takers, but it does look like the 18 of Hamlin came to pit road. Sure enough.
And maybe just adjustments. We heard that report from Marty talking about how tight that 18 was. Kelly.
And that's Noah Gregson in that number 9 car, and you're right. They brought him in just for adjustments. He just said he was way too tight. They thought they would start loose, way too tight. You see them going up on the track bar there to help out Noah. Marty.
Yeah, in fact, Denny Hamlin not only saying the car was tight right before that incident with John Hunter Nemechek, he said it feels like something is actually broken inside the car. It's so tight. You see all those rounds right there trying to free the car up. Again, it's a backup car. Steve, they only got a couple of runs on it, so you got to wonder, did everything get set up correctly with that backup car? Maybe the splitters hitting the ground, causing it to be too tight.
Yeah. Uncharacteristically, Denny Hamlin made contact in practice, had to go to a different car. But this right here, the big slide by the 23.
For all the latest NASCAR esports, including iRacing and the NASCAR Heat Pro League, visit enascar.com. Watch live races, get schedules for standings, and find out how you can get involved as well. Great crowd on hand here at Darlington on this Labor Day weekend, and anytime you have a party style type of weekend, you've got to include Rutledge Wood. And Rutledge, you're in the infield somewhere, right?
I sure am, Rick, down here in between 3 and 4, and I have found a fantastic throwback. I know what you're thinking. Wow, a gas pump. That's kind of cool that you'd bring it out here, but it's so much more. Check it out. We got a TV in here. My buddy Tony Morrow brought this down here. But Tony, that's not it. His son Matt races at Knoxville. They're from Iowa, brought this down. His grandson Anthony sent me a tweet. Can you show me what else it does, Tony? I know what you're thinking, Rick.
You know, Eric Lundstrom helped us engineer a lot of this, but you know what? We'll just pour you a cold beer right now, right out of this pump.
Rick Allen, this is a kegerator television beer pump in Darlington. There's no better throwback than this. I like a lot of foam. Thank you very much, Rick.
It says self-stir. And of course he has as much fun as anyone can. Blaney and Reddick making up row 1. Blaney in the 12 on the outside, Reddick in the 2 on the inside as we get ready for the restart.
Reddick with a really good start on the bottom. Bell pushing him.
Little shove there out of Bell. Gets Reddick out in front. Blaney running second. Now the 7 of Justin Allgaier falls back to third. Christopher Bell after that push. Back in the 4th position. Cole Custer running down below the white dotted line.
Brandon Jones on the inside. And right there, Cole Custer, that 0. Now Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to get on the outside of Brandon Jones.
That is a tough place to be up in that tire and rubber. Car really wants to get tight off turn 2. He's able to stay in that position, stay on the quarter panel of that 19. It's like Jr. should have a good chance to complete the pass down at this end of the racetrack.
Brandon Jones' spotter was very nice right there. Could have moved him up in front of the 8.
So Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 7th position now. It's Reddick, Blaney, Allgaier, Bell, Briscoe, Custer, Earnhardt Jr., Brandon Jones, Austin Cindric, and Michael Annett, the top 10. There's Justin Haley in the 11 trying to get by Michael Annett in the 1.
Justin's first time at this racetrack. I talked to him today, and he was shocked at this racetrack, how difficult it was. Felt better, though. He said in happy hour, last practice of the day, he was very comfortable. Felt good about his car in the long run.
That's the comfort, though. But how far do they run on tires in practice, Jeff? 15, 20 laps? I mean, at some point today, you're going to have 40, 50-lap tires on your car. Oh, as you see right there, that's patience, though, right? At some racetracks, you try to push the issue right there, but he wisely gets out of the gas, allows the 1 back in position. Here's the 18 of Denny Hamlin. We saw him on pit road making adjustments. Didn't change tires, but made a chassis adjustment on that car.
Christopher Bell and Justin Allgaier fighting for 3rd. Bell in that 20 car. Here's this battle again with the 8 of Dale Jr., 19 of Brandon Jones.
Again, the throwback weekend gives you the opportunity to throw back to another era, maybe a different type of racing or a different type of a race setup. And right now the 8, he threw back to his dad, Dale Earnhardt Sr., back there in that 75. And right behind him, probably one of the most famous paint schemes, the Gray Ghost that Buddy Baker drove back in 1980, and Brandon Jones carrying that paint scheme.
Allgaier in that 7 car still having trouble with his car. We saw how loose he was early, back in the race car, just not in the racetrack. Cole Custer in the 0 taking advantage of it. See right here, that is all but wrecked off of turn 2. They're going to have to make some big changes. Or, as you said before, maybe they intentionally started this loose, thinking the racetrack's going to tighten up that much.
Allgaier did a nice job of crossing over the 0, got inside of him down the front stretch, but 0 pushed the issue into turn 1 and completed the pass. And just like that, the 7 goes from looking out the windshield to looking out the mirror. Brandon Jones in the 19 now attacking the 7 from behind.
Let's listen into Justin Allgaier's communications.
For whatever reason, I just cannot get it at 3. I could yesterday.
It's good information, and I like the fact that, hey, we might not have talked about this, but yesterday I could. This is a new issue, so either the tracks change or maybe you made changes to the race car, but I'm struggling. You see on the right-hand side of your screen, that's Justin's crew chief, Jason Burdett. I like the, what do you call it, the bifold, trifold, the hat with the, that's like the Richard Petty look.
And there's Brandon Jones trying to take advantage. Brandon has gotten around Dale Earnhardt Jr., has driven away from him. And listen, when you're Brandon Jones and you can drive around Dale Earnhardt Jr., that's a big deal, right? I mean, that makes you feel good. You see the 7 car up there not handling the way he needs to be handling. Now you're going to go take the fight to him.
And Jeff, when I talked to Jason Burdett, the crew chief on that 7 earlier today, he said, well, we were a little dazed and confused from yesterday. We weren't sure what we had, so we started kind of neutral here today. That means we can kind of adjust in either direction, and they've definitely got to get some changes to that 7 car. Look at the wall rider behind him, that 8 car of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Too tough to tame, old style. There's a good look at the inside, Junior at work. That cockpit, by the way, one of the biggest differences between his car and the throwback to his dad's 1975 car. Back then, there weren't a lot of creature comforts and things done specifically for the driver. This weekend, crew chief Taylor Moyer told me, I don't want Junior distracted by anything. We worked a lot on the cockpit of that race car, made the interior exactly what the driver needs.
I think it's great watching him. He always takes his right hand off the steering wheel and puts it at the top of the steering wheel and he goes through the turns.
Brandon Jones underneath Allgaier. Now Allgaier typically will give that spot up, but not now. That's a part of the racetrack that, you know, typically when somebody gets underneath you off turn 4, you'll kind of give them that spot, especially as loose as Allgaier is. I'm surprised he wants that 19 that close behind him. And then we see the 9 of Noah Graskin. I'm not so sure I like that move they made. They were running 8th, pitted under that caution just to make adjustments. They went all the way back to 28th. Here's a rookie, never been to this racetrack before. That's putting him in a very tough spot.
Brandon Jones trying to get by on the inside and still sliding around the racetrack is the 7. Man, Justin Allgaier has his hands full. Tyler Reddick out front at Darlington being chased by Ryan Blaney. Just 12 laps remain in stage 1 of the Sports Clips Haircuts VFW 200 from Darlington Raceway. And out front, it's Tyler Reddick. You can catch all the action of NASCAR on NBC with the NBC Sports app. Get closer with alternate camera angles, driver stats, and track information. Riding along with Justin Haley, and on that helmet, and you see him, the head bouncing around as he goes through the turns. A very rough and abrasive racetrack. And listening too, he doesn't get in the gas very often. I mean, he's really having to feather that accelerator to keep this thing straight.
Yeah, and he's running 7th, so Dale Jr. right against the wall, a little contact. That's okay in this car, though. These bodies on these Xfinity cars, they can take that.
Darlington stripe.
Yeah, man. That's as long as he's been out of the car. That's like when football player gets hit for the first time, right? It's like, all right, now let's play.
And you scratch the new off it at this point.
Yeah, he's able to get by the 19, and so Earnhardt Jr. back up to the 7th spot. Marty.
It's been fun to watch that Earnhardt and Jones battle. It's also been fun to watch Denny Hamlin. So first run of the day was 11 laps. They went from 38th to 11th. This run is 19 laps. He's gone from 28th to 12th. And he said the left front just feels numb, that he doesn't have any grip or feeling in that left front tire. But Jeff, you talked about those two drivers that pitted on lap 13. Hamlin able to make his way through the field much quicker than Noah Gragson. That just shows that Cup experience and how to manage the run.
Listen, Noah came and tested, had 2 days of a test session here, but that is not the same as racing. He came in and worked the whole time trying to run right against the wall. You can't pass right against the wall, right? You got to run wherever they're not, and now he's just not able to get back up through the field.
You see Denny Hamlin's paint scheme, a throwback to Bill Elliott's 92 through 94 Budweiser paint scheme. Bill Elliott success at this racetrack as well. A little bump in there. Austin Cindric might be holding up that 0-1.
Landon Castle says, man, you know, they were side by side getting into turn 1, it looked like, and 22 kept the spot from the 0-1. I think the 0-1's a little quicker.
How about Landon Castle in this run they're having today? A smaller team, not near the funding that 22. That's a Roger Penske owned car. That 22. Landon Castle taking the fight to him.
And that's a throwback scheme to Roger Penske and his win at Riverside. All right, Austin Cindric has a race car that is just way too tight. And even though this is his second race here at Darlington, didn't get a lot of laps last year. He was in a crash early in the race, so he's still learning and getting a lot of help from his spotter, Coleman Presley.
Our 3 and 4 is getting better as he adjusts his line higher. Only thing is he's a little timid at the 2/3, keep running the wall, but he's inching closer and closer, so we'll see how it gets better.
So you can hear Coleman there trying to help Austin fend off Landon Castle behind him. They say that Coleman's been an integral part to getting him comfortable this weekend.
So watch right here, watch the 18, what he does in turn 3. Look how they drive away from him getting into 3. He gets in real easy, but he enters right against the wall. Look at the exit speed that allows him to get. That is where Denny Hamlin's strength is at this racetrack. His entry into 3 is what makes the exit of 4 work, and it's all about the exits. He's willing to give up speed into 3 to gain speed on the exit of 4.
Well, and he also runs, look at this, the highest exit off turn 2. He's got to be very careful. I'm not sure if the 0-1's going to know he's there. That's just not a place you expect a driver to get on your outside quarter panel. So once again, the 18's going to move up the racetrack. The 22 is without a doubt holding up the 0-1, but when we talk about patience, this is when it pays off. The 0-1 has to remain patient. You can't push something, even with 5 laps to go in stage 1, over 100 laps to go in the race.
You say remain patient. Now Denny Hamlin has made his way up here and is fighting for this 11th spot. Let's listen into his radio.
We're really plowing tight still. I mean, it really feels like something's wrong with the left front. It has absolutely no grip at all.
Be interesting to see what that left front tire looks like. We had a few tires just wear all the rubber off, all the way down to the fabric, all the way to the cords. We had a few on the Cup side in practice. We'll have to take a look at the left front of the 18 when it comes off on the pit stop. And now he's under attack by a net here. kind of join the fray. And that's what happens, right? One guy kind of stacks everybody up. And next thing you know, you think you're trying to pass a guy, but as you slow down, trying to pass him, somebody runs you down. You see Justin Allgaier, the adventures kind of continue. This car running in the 5th position, but it has definitely been moving around and contact with the wall.
And right now, Allgaier, again, as you mentioned, running 5th. Reddick up front, 3 laps to go in stage 1. Blaney is 1.4 seconds back from Tyler Reddick. So after the restart, Tyler Reddick able to clear the 12. And Ryan Blaney hasn't been able to challenge him for that lead ever since.
Doing Kyle Petty proud in this Kyle Petty throwback scheme.
7-11 on the side for Tyler Reddick.
Oh, that patience. This is when you have to be patient. Look right ahead of him. 2 slower cars side by side off of turn 2. Well, Reddick's not known for patience. He's going to make it 3 wide.
He sees that green and white checkered flag. It's coming out in 2 laps. A potential win in the stage, and that means another playoff point.
Vital playoff points for this 2 team, and I talked to Randall Burnett about that this morning. He said, hey, listen, that's key for us because if you look at the playoff standings, we are way behind Christopher Bell and Cole Custer. We need playoff points. He's staring 1 down right now, Rick.
Yeah, looking very strong. He has led 29. This will be lap 30 that Tyler Reddick will be out front in stage 1, as he's run a very good first stage. 23 playoff points this season. Make it 24 as he comes out of turn 4. And Tyler Reddick is going to win stage 1 here at Darlington. Stage points distributed. We see Dale Earnhardt Jr. finishing up in 7th.
You mentioned this was a short race. Short race. That's a third of it over.
Quickly, Tyler Reddick establishing his dominance after the restart took over for Ryan Blaney and hasn't looked back. Pit stops when we come back to Darlington. NASCAR on NBC is brought to you by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. Perfect for race fans. The race fans are here today, coming out to enjoy a little Xfinity Series racing from the Lady in Black, Darlington Raceway. Tyler Reddick, I think a surprise last year when he won the championship, then changed teams, went to Richard Childress Racing, and now has had great success in 2019 defending his championship. And right now outrunning the Cup drivers.
Talking with his hands, talking to his crew chief, probably telling him what the car needs to do better.
Now we continue to talk about how short this race is, under 100 laps to go this time around. First set of pit stops we're going to see, very difficult to recover. You got to at least maintain, try to gain a spot, but maintain on pit road. Dave.
Second place, Ryan Blaney would like some options. He knows cars are running fast on the high line. He said, my car is too loose to do that. 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles and Sunoco fuel to fill. Third place, Christopher Bell, middle of your screen. That car would not turn the way he needed it to at Darlington, so they'll make adjustments there, Marty.
Long way down pit road for Tyler Reddick, who's led 32 laps to this point, Dave. He said, I've been a little too loose, but I'm almost kind of afraid to adjust on the car because I feel like the track is changing. So they're going to make a small air pressure adjustment here for Tyler Reddick, who's been the dominant car at the end of the run. 4 fresh Goodyear tires as well. And they asked him to stop short so he could get around Landon Castle, who's pitting right in front of him. Tight pit road here at Darlington. Looks like Reddick will be able to keep the lead off of pit road, although it's close with Bell there at the end.
Great race off pit road as the work continued there on the 18 for Denny Hamlin. You see Reddick holding that top spot.
See how valuable.
Bell got a spot.
Yeah, how valuable that #1 pit stall was. Denny Hamlin plus 4 spots up inside the top 10.
And let's dial up Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Hey, Junior, your buddy's up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Man, it's going good. What you doing?
Watching you and talking about you. You give us something good to talk about?
Not as high as I thought I was going to be. My heart rate's not as high as I thought it was going to be. These guys race harder than I thought they did. That old Jones boy I was holding off for racing there, he was racing hard. It's a lot of fun, though.
What about it? What's the surprise right now? Anything surprising you?
I didn't think I'd do this good. I lower my expectations, aim low, right? That's what I do, and feel like we're doing pretty good. So, car's great, probably way better than the driver is. Hopefully we can get all the laps, just get home.
All right, so what does your car need to do better? I know you're saying it's all you. I don't buy it. What can your car do better to help you?
So I was real happy with 1 and 2, or actually I was happy with 3 and 4. Up high, down low, real pleased with the balance there. But if I'm in the rubber, like right here, if I'm running basically where the right side rubber is, I'm really tight through 1 and 2, especially on the corner exit over here. I have to get the right front either below the patches in this gray or even above the patches on kind of a high line, maybe a whole car length off the apron to get the car to turn through here. If I go through here in the traditional place, it's super tight. So I don't think we can fix that with the car. I think that's just the rubber on the racetrack and the patches and so forth. So that's a bit tough to navigate, but it's fun.
Well, I don't know if you can hear all that debris hitting underneath your car when you drive that high line, but if I was in there and could hear it, I wouldn't go there. That scared me.
It is really uncomfortable. You were right. It's not very comfortable, but I saw Denny Hamlin do this a couple years ago. I think the last race of my career. I saw him run that high entry into one and that high exit and make up a ton of time, and it works if you can get it, if you can hit it just right on old tires. So trying to predict that and understand when to go up there and use it.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's a race car driver turned broadcaster that's back in a race car.
Here in Darlington, Xfinity Series racing today. NASCAR Throwback Weekend continues tomorrow on NBCSN with Monster Energy Cup Series racing. Race coverage begins at 6 p.m. Eastern. Now, before the break, you heard the excitement in Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s voice. I'm with you on the Mobile One Peacock Pit Box. Great crowd, as you see here at Darlington for today's race. Dale Jr. excited. He said he wasn't sure he would be this good. He's already raced into the top 10 after just one stage. Denny Hamlin has done the same. Remember, Denny Hamlin has won this race 5 times, all from the pole. Today, he's trying to do it the hard way. He had to start in the back, trying to get his 6th Xfinity Series Darlington win. Dale Earnhardt Jr. back in the car for the first time in nearly a year. Kyle Petty is leading this race. Oh wait, it's Tyler Reddick driving a 1987 11 car, channeling his inner Kyle Petty. So much still to come.
And 2x2 once again. Reddick and Bell making up that first row. Bell on the outside in the 20, Tyler Reddick in the 2 on the inside as the green flag comes back out. A little shove here from Ryan Blaney in the 12, so Tyler Reddick back out front, and we'll see what Blaney can do with that momentum now. He gets by Christopher Bell for that 2nd position and looks to the inside of Reddick. Oh, around goes the 86 behind them.
Brandon Brown around off turn 2 in the inside wall.
Brandon was running 13th at the time.
So it's on pit road here. Looks like the deck lid's completely off of it here.
You see right there in the middle of your screen, just gets loose and spinning. Pretty heavy contact by the 9 of Gregson. I didn't see that the first time. So you see right here, he's basically center of the screen underneath that bright pink 08. That's that 86 of Brown. He just gets loose. And as he tries to spin, look at the 9 right here, comes in. Maybe the contact wasn't quite as hard as it looked. Although in slow motion, I think everything looks a little easier.
Did Gray Galding in the 08, was there contact made there before the exit of 2?
You know, listen, that's just Darlington. It's so tight getting off that corner side by side with another car there. It's just really difficult. Brandon Brown just around, and you see that was a little more contact than it looked like from that other shot. And of course, Brandon Brown is, you know, that's a big hit for him. But Rick, that's just, there was a time that drivers wouldn't run through there side by side. If you got beside somebody in turn 2, the guy on the outside would just give that spot up. Today, that spot isn't given up, but multiple times we see wrecks because of it.
Restart when we come back. Next weekend, it's the final race of the regular season for the Monster Energy Cup Series, and it'll be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can see who kisses the bricks. Just go to NASCAR.com/tickets to purchase your tickets today. Marty.
Remember in stage 1, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Brandon Jones were racing inside the top 10, but Jones lost about 8 spots on pit road. Here's what happened. Completely missed his pit stall. There you see him locking it up to not hit Cole Custer and his team, then backs into a stall. Jeff, a lot of stuff happening down there on pit road with the signs waving. It's easy to miss your stall.
It really is easy. Spotters got to count you down. Sometimes you just miss it, even with the countdown.
Race leader Tyler Reddick once again has chosen the inside lane for this restart, and it's worked out again. Now Christopher Bell trying to get to the inside of Blaney. It's not going to work. Blaney with a little more momentum this time as they exit turn 2.
Briscoe and that car on the trying to get on the outside and actually got by Bell with an aggressive move, taking the outside off turn 2.
For the lead, here comes Blaney. Won't be able to make that pass as they go through 3 and 4.
Reddick's got a good run off of turn 4. Going to turn and look underneath Blaney. Blaney's not going to give it to him.
So again, Tyler Reddick up front, Ryan Blaney running second. Chase Briscoe back there in the 98, running in the 3rd position. A little deeper in the field, you see the 66, Timmy Hill on the inside in that blue number 66. Inside of the 4 of BJ McLeod.
We'll see what crew chiefs and drivers communicated the best, chose the right adjustments. We see right there that red car, that's Denny Hamlin, the 22 behind him, Austin Cindric. The 9, we wondered how heavy the damage was going to be on the nose of that car. You can see, I mean, there's a little bit, but the grille is still there. The hood still seems to be attached pretty securely.
Penske versus Junior Motorsports. Right there, the 22 of Austin Cindric racing for Roger Penske. And Noah Gragson running for Junior Motorsports. One of 4 cars entered in today's race.
A lot of young drivers in this group right here, and it's really easy at this racetrack to start racing amongst yourselves and forget to race the racetrack. Still a long way to go. You're going to have to be careful. Obviously, you want these positions, but you can't do it at the cost of getting in a wreck.
7 of Allgaier struggled with a very loose car early in this race. It looks like Jason Burdett made some adjustments to the 7 as he passes that 20 of Christopher Bell. That'll be for the 4th position.
We saw this from Bell early in the race, didn't we? Where he just didn't have speed taking off. Now the 00 Cole Custer trying to take that spot. Here comes their man, Junior.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8s on board, watching the action in front of him, side by side in front for position.
I like Junior said, I didn't know they race this hard.
It has been 20 years since Dale Earnhardt Jr. ran an Xfinity car here at Darlington.
And this is that area of the track he talked about. See how much higher Denny Hamlin was on corner exit than Junior. Junior says his car gets up into that area where the rubber's put down. His car doesn't want to turn as well. Denny Hamlin's car turns great from the top.
He also has that high entry into 3 we talked about earlier. That's what Denny Hamlin does so well in the Xfinity car as well as the Cup car. Here's the problem. So if you're Dale Jr. and you're watching this, right? You drive into turn 1 and you see Denny Hamlin enter high. And you see it working on this high exit, right? So it makes you want to try it. There he goes trying to run higher. But if it doesn't work, you're going to wreck. Like you are going to hit that wall. And you saw Junior try it. He moved up the racetrack, but still not quite as high as Denny, because he knows if it doesn't work, he's going to hit the wall. He's going to walk himself up there inch by inch.
There's the gap between 1 and 2. Tyler Reddick and Ryan Blaney. Reddick in the 2, Blaney in the 12. Looking back from the Sonic onboard, we're able to see back there at Blaney.
2 completely different lines down here in 3 and 4. Blaney running right up against the wall. Reddick much lower on the racetrack. See if that should pay dividends, you think, on corner exit. Back in the 3rd position right here, you have Chase Briscoe in that 98.
Throw back to Parnelli Jones. And let's go to Dave.
Yep, there's the car right there that Parnelli won the 1963 Indy 500 in. So they tributed that car. It's even got the pipes on the paint scheme down the side, and they call it the Fred Biaggi Special. All cars used to say the something something special. Well, Fred Biaggi is one of the owners of this 98 car, so that's how they so named it. Parnelli, by the way, is a granddad, and his grandson Jagger is racing in NASCAR now, racing in the K&N Pro Series West. Interesting to see what he can do throughout the summer on NBCSN, where you can catch those races.
Impressive run here for Chase Briscoe up in the 3rd spot. Another driver making his first Darlington start.
And the other thing about Chase Briscoe is we're starting to see him and hear his name more and more in the top 5. This team is starting to get their legs underneath them. They were not as good as their teammate Cole Custer early in the year, but as of late, you're starting to see this team be as good, if not better, than that 00.
And if they're going to contend for the championship, one of the guys they're going to have to beat, Jeff, no doubt Tyler Reddick, who's driving a very disciplined race to this point, 39 laps in. You know, he told me last year in his championship season in the Xfinity Series, this is the race where everything turned around for him. At the time, he was driving for Junior Motorsports, and he said, this kind of racetrack really fits my style. You think about Miami, where he won that title, a low-grip racetrack like Darlington, where you run the wall. So, Jeff, I think there's something to that. You know, we talk about guys who are good at mile-and-a-halves and short tracks and road courses. The guys who are good at high-wear racetrack, low-grip racetracks, something to that as well.
Car control, the ability to feel your car, find the limit of it. That's what low-grip racetracks require you to do.
The top 2 are the only 2 that have led here at Darlington. Tyler Reddick, 39 laps. Blaney, 15 as we go NASCAR nonstop. Ryan Blaney in the 12 trying to wear down Tyler Reddick, forcing him hopefully to make a mistake. But right now Reddick has been mistake free, staying just in front of that 12. This battle for the lead heating up.
The 12 of Blaney was a little bit faster than Reddick. Blaney was running the top, Reddick was running the bottom, and then once Blaney got to him, Reddick went to the top. and that took away the advantage of Blaney.
Yeah, and down at this end of the racetrack, Blaney can get inside him, but he can't seem to pass him. I think he's going to have to make a move on the exit of 2. So watch right here. How much higher Ryan Blaney runs through the middle of the corner, right up against the wall versus Reddick, a groove down. What that allows is the 12 to really carry momentum on corner exit.
The other issue is going to be lap traffic.
Yeah.
So, you lose a little bit of momentum at this racetrack, and they will eat you up from behind. So now you see Reddick back on the bottom of the racetrack. He gained some space on Blaney, but then went back to the bottom.
And now that lap traffic coming into play. You see Reddick running a little different line this time.
This is a bad place to catch a lap car for Reddick right here on the exit of 2. Does he clear him? He doesn't. That hurts how well you can put the power down. You see instantly how much the 12 gains on him down the straightaway. Will turn left underneath him. A little bit of a slide, maybe up in front of the 2.
Does he get there? Reddick, no, he won't let him by. Reddick fills the void, and Blaney stays back in second.
Many would have lifted, but not Reddick. He's very comfortable up there by the wall.
Blaney knew it.
Yes.
He's not going to lift. I can't slide up there.
So that's how you're going to have to make that pass, right? That momentum, that change in momentum because of that lap traffic. It allowed Blaney to get that positive forward momentum driving into turn 3. I think the next time, right here, you might see Blaney with a much more aggressive slide to get in front of Reddick.
Well, it's 14 to go in stage 2. If it was 14 to go in the race, that might have been a kind of clear, slide up there.
Run on here, 1 back, half back here, lane top is clear. 1 lane lower, up here bumper, inside bumper.
So Tyler Reddick, every week we'll look at the entry list on Tuesday when it comes out, and he checks to see if there are any Cup drivers in the field. Well, this week he saw that Denny Hamlin was in the field, and he also saw Ryan Blaney was in the field, so he knew he had to go up against the best. Marty.
Rick, I know who's faster than all those guys up front. The red number 18 of Denny Hamlin. Time for our Toyota driver update, and Hamlin has been so quick in this part of the run. Remember that first part of the race, they had trouble with the left front. He said the car was just so tight, had no feel. This run, no complaints. It's had a little bit of trouble turning down the hill on corner exit, a little tight there, but much better for Hamlin, and he's been the quickest car on the track for quite a while now, trying to work his way in the top 5 and pass Chase Briscoe right here for that spot.
I tell you what, that high exit allows the 18 to do is to stay in clean air. Everyone else has to turn off the wall. So we go back to this end of the racetrack. We're going to heading down into turn 1, some traffic ahead. Watch the difference as that 98, that white and blue car in front of the red car of Denny Hamlin, as he turns down the hill. Denny jumped to the outside of him in traffic. Christopher Bell's going to try to follow him through.
That's the lap traffic week.
Wow.
It's going to play an issue all day long. You have to time it right. If you're if you're Chase Briscoe, you have to be prepared to jump on the outside of that lap car. He lost 2 spots. I mean, listen, I will say this, first time here, I'm cool with him making the decision, a conservative decision at this time in the race. But right here, they catch the slower car. Briscoe in the 98 takes a more conservative route, doesn't want to get right up against that wall. Hamlin's like, I'll do it. Here comes Christopher Bell. I don't mind getting up there. So 2 spots lost. Just a little bit of conservative driving.
You mentioned it's experience. Chase Briscoe, 2 Xfinity wins. Denny Hamlin, 17.
And 5 here.
Yeah,
A lot of Cup laps. Imagine how many more laps Denny Hamlin has than Chase Briscoe. But listen, that's the kind of mistake I'm good with the rookie making here.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. The conservative mistake at this racetrack with this many laps to go, I'd rather that kind of mistake than the mistake from aggression.
Now Chase Briscoe trying to continue to put guys behind him as he's got the 8 behind him as well, trying to fight for position. Rutledge.
Yeah, that's Jeremy Clements there in that 51 with that Rowdy Burns throwback paint scheme from Days of Thunder. He better not bend that one little bit. And Rick, the amazing thing is Steve Letarte just actually saw Days of Thunder for the first time. This must be so cool for you, Steve, to see that car out there.
I'm glad I did my homework. My old buddy Dale Jr. called me out on his podcast, so the fans went crazy on social media. How could I have worked at Hendrick Motorsports for so long and never watched the movie? So I had a little study session, watched the movie last weekend, had to go back and report to Dale Jr. on his podcast this week. Good movie. I enjoyed it. Good movie.
A
No one's given me any flack for never watching it.
Oh, yes, they have.
No, not really. I guess I should pay more attention.
Yes, they have. Dale Earnhardt Jr. mentioned that he remembers when Tom Cruise was studying for that movie and coming to visit his father.
Well, class is back in session here for the lead. We have the 12 of Ryan Blaney. It took, what, 5 or 6, 7 laps for him to gain those few car lengths back. I'm a little concerned. Reddick running the bottom. He's going to leave the top. The 12 with the crossover move.
Here comes the crossover. Will he get him as they go into 1?
Will he give him the spot?
He's got it. He took it away. Blaney takes the lead back. But now, a hard charge here by Reddick.
A little confused why Reddick went back to the bottom of the racetrack. When he ran the top, he was able to hold the 12 off, but here he goes again, right back to the bottom.
Well, we talk about conservative. It might be the plan of this too. We have seen him get into the wall before, make a few mistakes. He was fortunate enough to recover at Bristol, but remember, he spun out coming to the end of his stage at Bristol, so it's 5 to go, but that's only in the second stage. We still have that final stage.
Bingo, Steve. Randall Burnett just told Tyler Reddick, hey, stay patient in there. Remember the mistake he made trying to get the stage win at Bristol and that 1 extra playoff point. Yes, they desperately feel like they do need those playoff points, and they got one earlier today by winning stage 1. But right now, patience. They know they have a car that can win this race. Don't throw it away here.
Yeah, I talked to Tyler Reddick and Randall Burnett yesterday, and they both were convinced that running the bottom in 3 and 4 was going to be the best way to go. And even in 1 and 2, look, not against the wall, early the way we see some other guys. I think that these guys just believe that running a little lower on the racetrack is going to be good for them.
Gregson in the 9, just in front of Austin Cindric in the 22. Those two running 10th and 11th right now as they get ready to go by David Starr in the 52.
Ahead of these guys,
second,
is Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones, a good comeback. Back up to 9th after that trouble.
And look at this, Justin Allgaier in the 7, now pressuring Tyler Reddick.
Justin Allgaier, the last time through 3 and 4, actually I think touched the wall and didn't even slow him down. He's running so high. We'll see if Reddick goes to the bottom again. Nope, that's enough. He ran the bottom long enough to lose the lead, but this time he's going to run the top with only 3 to go. Must figure he could protect for 3 laps.
Well, how about the 7 car? We saw him early in the race. We saw him struggling, how loose he was. Now as this race is starting to get further into it, now here he is battling for 2nd. That's just the team making good changes and the racetrack changes as well.
Oh, I like that exit. Oh, wow. Oh, I liked it until then.
Another slide for the 7 of Justin Allgaier.
Look at all this lap traffic. Allgaier trying to get underneath him, get that quarter panel on him, get him loose.
Look at Reddick fighting on the outside.
Going to use that slower car as a pick getting into turn 1.
Decision time. Do you race him down into the corner? Do you let him go?
Allgaier's going to take it. Allgaier up to 2nd. Blaney still leading. And this is the last lap of stage 2. And a sideways Allgaier again as they go down the backstretch.
Cole Custer joining this fight.
Oh, into the wall goes the 7 of Allgaier.
That is a hard contact.
The 12 of Ryan Blaney will win stage 2. The fight for 2nd. Allgaier, after smashing into the wall, finishes 2nd. Tyler Reddick 3rd. Custer and Hamlin rounding out the top 5. Things are heating up at Darlington. Ryan Blaney winning stage 2. Allgaier fighting for every spot. NASCAR Xfinity Series heading to the Brickyard next week. Coverage next Saturday on NBCSN. That begins at 3 p.m. Eastern. And again, you see the right side of the 7 of Justin Allgaier, and let's listen into the communications he had. The deck lid even bent a little bit.
Boy, I gotta stay out of the freaking wall, man. Gosh darn it.
He hit it hard.
You mentioned the deck lid. That is some heavy damage. We talk about these composite bodies and how they hold up, but the right side of the spoiler's even bent a little bit. That's going to affect the handling for sure.
Take a look at his day. Back of that car seems like it's been wide open.
Yeah, fighting the back of the car with the rear grip. Car got better in that second run, but then late he got loose again. Continuing to battle that car. His fastest way around the racetrack, though, is right against the wall. And, of course, you see the damage, how it knocked the rear bumper down. It moved the rear spoiler.
All that for a second-place finish in Stage 2.
With 55 laps to go, I just don't believe the team's going to be able to take time to repair this. Although that seam, the gap between the deck lid and the quarter panel, that would be my concern. See if they repair it here under pit stops. Dave.
As you see them pitting, they said they'll take a look at it, but the spotter believes that even though it was a really good hit, it'll pop right back out. So we'll watch the 7 on that right rear. The leader, Ryan Blaney, liked the changes he got last time. A little more of that here, Marty.
Tyler Reddick coming down pit road. He told Randall Burnett, you're going to have to tighten me up quite a bit. The track taking a lot of rubber. It's making all of us free out here. Burnett responded by saying, quote, I'm going to take a pretty decent swing at it here. We may only have one more stop. 4 fresh Goodyears and Sunoco fuel for him. Denny Hamlin at the front end of pit road said his car much better than the start of the race, guys.
Going to work on Denny there. We saw Tyler Reddick in for service.
It's going to be a big stop for the 18 team. That #1 pit stall. We'll see if they gain spots again. Hold serve. Allgaier loses a couple, but you don't know if that was damage related.
So Reddick gains a spot. Custer also 1 spot. Allgaier drops a couple. And let's see if we can chat with Dale Jr. again.
Hey, Junior, it's us again, man. How's it going?
Man, it's good. I'm getting hot, though. But still feeling good. Car's a little tight. Starts off a little loose, gets a little bit tight. Like I said earlier, if I put that right front in the groove, I'm real tight. But if I try to keep the right front out of the rubber, the cars are great. Turns real good. So I don't know if I need to loosen it up to run in that rubber or not. But have fun still. Just want to get a little bit better. Get up there and race them guys.
Heard a few drivers talking about the rubber building up on the racetrack, and that's changing the way the cars are driving. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, absolutely. Everywhere, the rubber goes down, it's tight. And it's a big difference between running in the traditional groove and being super tight or going under or above that groove, especially here in turn 1, off of exit of turn 2. You can see Denny, them guys, myself included, using that high exit. The car really turns good there on the very back end of the run. If you run in the patches, basically the typical groove, it just does not turn. It feels like it's ripping the tread right off the tires through there.
Well, let's hope it's not doing that, but have a good day, man. It's not over yet. Keep fighting.
All right, buddy.
So Steve, I feel for you, because we heard one driver say that rubber's making it loose, and the other driver said it's making it tight.
Simple as that.
Earnhardt running 8th right now. Blaney leading at Darlington.
All of these fans you see here today can't wait to come back tomorrow for the Southern 500, the highlight of NASCAR's Throwback Weekend. We'll see you at 6 p.m. Eastern for that, but still a lot more racing here in Darlington. The Mobil 1 Peacock pit box sitting right next to the 7 of Justin Allgaier. I watched Jason Burdett come down as crew chief, take a look at those tires. One of the stories I'm following in this final stage. What can Justin Allgaier do? 5 wins last year, still looking for his first win this year. He is locked into the playoff on points, but he wants a win at Darlington. Rutledge, where are you?
Krista, I'm here in the coach lot, and what would be better for a throwback weekend than a throwback bus? That's right, I'm standing in front of a fully restored 1998 Prevost, which is the luxury motor coach of NASCAR officially. Take a look inside this bad boy. It is beautiful in there and incredibly period correct. We're talking amazing, huge VCR in the back. There's a telephone that calls the front of the bus. If you still have a landline, you know how exciting that is. But everything about this thing, brand new, freshly restored, but all perfect correct for 1998. A beautiful Prevost down here in the coach lot.
I wonder why I hadn't seen Rutledge all weekend. Yeah. He's reading apparently the phone book in the restored bus.
A phone book. There's a throwback.
Why is a VCR retro?
It's okay. You're going to watch Days of Thunder on your VCR, Jeff.
Okay.
Let's listen in to Tyler Reddick's radio.
Hey, Derek, I'm on 2. At 18's the best car. He's been going in turn 1 high, running the top off, and coming off of 2 high. His car we're going to have to beat to win it, I think.
That voice is Richard Childress chiming in there, talking to Tyler Reddick.
I've heard that voice from the same seat. He's normally right.
Every time I hear him on the radio, it just reminds me how good Dale Jr.'s impression of RC is.
Ryan Blaney has chosen the inside line for the restart. Tyler Reddick will be on the outside. It's Custer and Allgaier making up row 2. How much will the damage affect the 7 of Allgaier? Here comes Cole Custer in the 00. Is he going to be able to clear the 2 for second? Cole Custer takes second.
Oh, Justin Allgaier bounced off the 18, but took the spot away by running that high exit, got to the outside of the 18. Now Denny Hamlin has Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the inside in that light blue number 8.
We saw things heating up right there at the end of stage 2, and it looks like it's going to continue. The move now by Denny Hamlin in the 18. Trying to take another spot. Up into the wall again. Saw the 7 of Allgaier get into the wall. And again he tags the wall. Now Christopher Bell looks to the inside.
Might be a short race, but Justin Allgaier's arms are going to be exhausted from turning to the right. That car has been sideways more than anybody today.
See right here, the 18 underneath the 7, and the 7 in the wall again. Just making contacts, hit the wall 4 or 5 times already.
And we heard him say on his radio, hey, I've got to stay off the wall. Well, it's not working. He might not have hit there.
No,
that was
I'll
close.
Give him credit. You see Denny Hamlin. He'll go by the 7 of Allgaier, and Allgaier will make more contact with the outside wall.
See Dale Earnhardt Jr. using that to his advantage. A little momentum loss for Christopher Bell.
And Junior makes the pass. Takes the spot away from Bell.
Running in 6th place, Junior.
Yeah, he thought he wasn't going to be any good, and now he just passed the most successful Xfinity Series driver this year. Christopher Bell has 6 wins already on the season, and Earnhardt Jr. moves up into the 6th spot.
And Brandon Jones trying to come back from that mistake on pit road. He's done a nice job of it so far. Lost some spots on pit road again that time.
I've always thought this is the most difficult time in one of these Darlington races, is now you're inside that final stage, you're inside your final fuel window. You don't have to pit again if this race goes green. So how well do you take care of those Goodyear tires as we see Christopher Bell battling back to the inside of Dale Jr.? Looks like he'll take the spot away, or do you save some life? Nope, Dale Jr. says not so fast, back to the outside on corner exit.
That's so frustrating as a driver. You're waiting to hear clear, clear, and all you hear is outside, outside, can't take the spot.
Up front, it's Blaney and Cole Custer running in the 2nd spot as we go NASCAR nonstop. You're watching the Sports Clips Haircuts VFW 200 from Darlington Raceway. A NASCAR Drive, that's your live race day companion. You can follow all your favorite drivers all race long. The high-definition in-car cameras. Visit NASCAR.com/drive. You can download the NASCAR mobile app today. See the leaf filter on board of Justin Haley there.
Ryan Blaney continues to lead with Cole Custer there in second in the 0-0, but right behind Cole Custer, I think, is the man everybody needs to be looking at, and that's Denny Hamlin in the 18, the 5-time winner of this race, is trying to do it a little different way. All 5 from the pole, started all the way in the back today, and his lap time consistently is the fastest on the racetrack.
What's the Pac-Man sound effect? What was that again?
Oh, yeah. That's what you get, right? When it starts to come down.
When you start to see Denny Hamlin behind you, it's like, oh, no.
And I think this is where Denny is so good. At this end of the racetrack, he can run both low, as he was doing right there, and high. And I think that's what makes this 18 even more dangerous, because how do you protect? We've seen guys take away a preferred line. Well, I'm not sure Denny has a preferred line. Look how high he runs here in 3 and 4 on exit.
Marty.
Well, before Denny can get to the lead, he's going to have to pass Cole Custer. And one of the cool things about Throwback Weekend is you throw back and you get to hang out with people who used to be at the racetrack all the time, like Buckshot Jones. So good to see. Is it interesting to be here? And does it kind of drive the fire to maybe want to get back in one of these things?
Yeah, it'd be fun to get back in one, but I've been out too long. But it's fun to kind of get to see the old paint scheme out there, and Cole's doing an awesome job.
Has it been interesting to be here at the track this weekend? When was the last time you were at a racetrack?
I guess it's been a couple years. My dad has a condo at the Atlanta race, so sometimes I go down there to watch, but I haven't been in the pits, I guess, since I got out of racing. So it's been a lot of fun.
So the memories of the Aqua Fresh paint scheme, couple of wins there, right?
Yeah, I mean, Aqua Fresh is probably our first big sponsor we had. Loved having them, but yeah, I mean, I always liked that design on that car, so Cole's doing good.
All right, I appreciate your time. And Rick, I got to tell you, the last time I saw Buckshot, he was a skinny kid. He is a big, muscly dude right now. I can tell you that. He's been working out in the gym about every day.
Well, he got out of racing. Don't you guys normally have to be pretty strong when you maybe bump into somebody on the racetrack? Because then afterwards,
he went the other way. He got big after. Like, I got big too, just the wrong guy.
I wasn't going to.
I was a little bit nervous.
Hang out with Buckshot a little bit. There's Denny working the bottom now in that 0-0.
So 35, now 34 laps remaining, and Blaney's out front, has about a 0.6 of a second lead, and then the fight for second really starting to heat up here as Denny Hamlin has to figure out a way to get by Cole Custer.
You mentioned 34 laps to go. All of these teams have tires available in the pit, so if we see a yellow, no doubt everybody will come to pit road.
Well, Cole Custer's done a really good job here. You said how Hamlin could run any line he wanted, but he wants to really run that outside lane, and Cole Custer took it away from him. Now he got a good run coming from Hamlin. Can he take this spot?
We'll see if he's able to pass him as they go into one. He does, so he slides up, and he's taken that second spot away from Cole Custer. See Cole fighting back now as he closes the gap, but now the 18 will set its sights on Blaney in that 12.
Now right back to the top.
Yep.
See, that's where he wants to be. That's where he's making his lap time. Custer took it away from him for a while, but as soon as he could, he went right back up to the top.
We saw Christopher Bell in the 20 on the right side of your screen. That battle for 5th, and again, Justin Allgaier so loose as he exited 4 there. The back of the car almost coming around.
I'm really amazed that the 7's been able to stay as far up at the front as he has, running in the 5th position. That's a lot of damage. I mean, we talk about aerodynamics and how finely tuned these race cars are. That 7 has hit the wall multiple times, but he still finds a way to get it around the racetrack competitively.
Dave.
Nobody wants Ryan Blaney to stay out in front of everyone than his team. This 12 car only runs sporadically during the year. In fact, this is the last of 8 races scheduled. So crew chief Matt Swiderski, they call him Squid, there he is, and his engineer Stephanie Borschelt next to him usually have jobs that just remain at home. They run simulations. Stephanie handles all of the spring and shock inventory of the entire Team Penske company. In fact, she's got favorite springs and she knows them all by number and name. But they've been working all year for a victory with their different Cup Series drivers. Today it's Blaney, last of 8. They don't have a win yet in 19.
And this is only the second start for Ryan Blaney this year. He was at Watkins Glen. He ran 4th there. He's got a best finish at this racetrack of 7th. So Ryan Blaney looking for his first Xfinity Series Darlington win. And he's got 30 laps until he gets there. It didn't take long for the 18 of Denny Hamlin to get by the 12 of Ryan Blaney, and now it's Hamlin looking for win number 6 in the Xfinity Series at this racetrack.
Denny Hamlin, the middle of 3 and 4, got a really good turn off of turn 4, drove under Blaney. Blaney, old school Darlington, didn't want to go side by side with him into turn 1. Knew he was better, knew he couldn't hold him off for 25 laps. Now the battle is for second. You see that 2 of Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick has gotten better as this run has gone on. That battle for the lead allowed him to get to these guys, but since he's gotten to them, he is faster than the guys in front of him.
We'll see if Reddick can get by Cole Custer. Those two fighting for the 3rd spot. Reddick now in front of him. He has 3rd, and he'll try to see if he can get closer to that 12 of Ryan Blaney.
And Richard Childers predicted it right. Denny Hamlin would be in the lead, and if Tyler Reddick wanted to win this race, he was going to have to beat the 18 car. Remember that swing that Randall Burnett took in the car, the big changes he made in that last stop? Well, it kind of hurt them at the beginning of the run, but what they're hoping is it helps them here at the end of the run. Right now, 1.4 seconds behind Denny Hamlin, 23 laps to get it done. We'll see if Reddick can get by the Cup Series star.
But Jeff, if I'm your crew chief right now, though, I'm asking you how your car is right now and how it was for the last 20 laps. Because if a yellow comes out, we're going to see tires put on all of these race cars. And it'll be a completely different ballgame. You will never get this far into a run. Currently, they've run 27 laps on this set of tires. Only 23 laps to go. So I need to know how the car was up to this point, not from this point forward.
And also, if you're my crew chief and I'm Denny Hamlin, I need you telling me, hey, we don't need to lead this race by more than 4 or 5 car lengths. Don't hurt your tires any more than you have to. There's no sense in driving away, right? Because we've seen major swings here. A car's really, really good and then just falls off big time. Save your tires if you can.
That stat can't be right.
You say cars very, very
unbelievable.
Good. Yeah, that's so a ridiculous statistic for Denny Hamlin. 2.7 is his average finish, and what is even more ridiculous is that number will go down if he wins here today.
Tough day at the office if you run 3rd and hurt your average finish.
Yeah, those are impressive numbers for Denny Hamlin, no doubt about it. And remember, all 5 of his wins have come from starting on the pole. He started last today. This is a backup car for Denny Hamlin. This is the one Xfinity race he runs every year. And Jeff, he told me he runs it because he feels like this is a rhythm racetrack, and he needs to be in rhythm for tomorrow night for the Cup race for the Southern 500. But the Xfinity race kind of sets that up, Dave.
That blue and yellow number 8, this is the only race that driver will run. Of course, that's Dale Earnhardt Jr. And his crew had a chuckle when they were just reminding themselves what it's like to work with the boss.
Burn them off. Copy what he said? I think he said burning them off, meaning the 20 car burning stuff off. 10-4, I figured you used to the Dale-ism.
Copy, got to get used to the Dale-isms again. It's a lot of fun for Junior this weekend. He said that's what it was intended to be. He'd like to run as well as he could right now. The car just started to turn for him about 5 laps ago, he reported. Dale-isms. Steve, you remember him?
I do remember them. Yeah, I think, and that was also TJ Major's voice you heard. Joey Logano's spotter on Sundays on loan from Team Penske to come back and spot with his old buddy Junior. So many races together. So, yeah, I know all the different Dale-isms.
And remember, it was just 2 weeks ago that Dale Earnhardt Jr. was involved in a plane crash as they were flying into Bristol. He and his family, Amy and daughter Isla, the pilots, and their dog Gus, were able to get out of the plane before fire engulfed the entire plane. And he came in here this last week letting people know, you know what, my back's a little bit sore, but I can't wait to get in the car because that's where I'm going to feel most comfortable. And we've seen all smiles out of Dale Earnhardt Jr. since he's been here.
And he's got to be pleased with this run. He came down and ran a few laps of the test and called me. He said, man, that place is faster than I remember. He was a little worried, but he's doing a great job.
Running 6, Denny Hamlin up front as we go NASCAR nonstop. You saw Josh Williams in the 36 get sideways and actually come right up to the inside wall. Take a look at what happened.
See him underneath Timmy Hill in the 66 and just gets around on him. Oh, contact with Landon Castle. Around he goes. Watch how close it is from hitting the wall. Just stop. Huge break.
Yeah, big break for the 7 of Justin Allgaier. He had hit the wall, and you guys had talked about that numerous times. Well, he came on the radio and said, I think I have a flat tire.
Well, this was the second time he hit the wall on the exit of turn 2 with Dale Jr. behind him. cut that right rear tire. Caught this caution, Dave.
Ryan Blaney got passed for the lead. He said, I definitely need this car to turn better. Big chassis adjustment in the back of the car. 4 tires and Sunoco fuel, Marty.
Meanwhile, for all the guys up front, Tyler Reddick said the car took off too tight that time. Go halfway back on that last adjustment you made, especially for the short run we're going to have. Cole Custer said his car is too free if we want to contend with those guys up front. I need to be tighter. And then at the very front end of pit road, Denny Hamlin said, we're really good right here, but this is going to be a 10-lap sprint. Pump up the tires a little bit more. Give me some more air pressure so it will fire off correctly, and they give him half a round to wedge as well. Hamlin holds serve, keeps the lead here on pit road.
And very close between Cole Custer and Ryan Blaney. It looks like Custer's going to get the advantage on that race off of pit road. He made up 2 spots on pit road. Blaney drops 1. Denny Hamlin, can he stay up front for 12 laps?
Only a dozen laps left here in Darlington to decide today's winner. Coming up after the race, local news except on the West Coast. Also IndyCar Series qualifying from Portland. There is a playoff battle going on in the Xfinity Series. Just 3 races remain. I'm here on the Mobile One Peacock pit box, but trust me, no one's thinking playoff battle right now. They are thinking what it would feel like to win at one of NASCAR's most historic tracks. We are just 12 laps away from the answer. Marty?
Let's chat with Ben Bayshore. Boy, they have had a long day here for Denny Hamlin and his team. So from the beginning of the race where Denny said something's got to be wrong with this car, are you a little surprised you're in the lead here with a shot to win it at the end?
Yeah, we've had to make a ton of adjustments on this thing, and I think we got it close. It was nice to have another shot to work on it there, but Denny's doing a heck of a job driving with what he's got and fighting through our battle here, but looking forward to the last 10 laps here.
Again, worth reiterating, Rick, a backup car for Denny Hamlin today. He started last on the field trying to get Darlington win number 6.
Well, I'm just glad that all the competitors couldn't hear that interview, because when Ben said we tried to get it a little better than it was and he was out front, it's going to be tough.
He told me, what did you say? I'm glad I had another chance to work on it. I'm like, glad nothing. I think it was your race to lose.
Well, listen, on this restart, you know, Denny Hamlin, yes, he's had the best car, but on long runs. He's not had the best car on short runs. And the other thing, Denny Hamlin has been running the top, the very top of the racetrack, even on the beginning of runs. So now, if you're Cole Custer, the goal, get a great restart. If you can get a great restart and enter with the 18, try to use that inside line to get by him here.
Well, you mentioned the restart. So, Rick, you know, we were talking in the break. Can anyone get by Denny Hamlin? I don't think we know. I'm not sure he knows. The best he has started on any start today is in the 5th position. He hasn't been on the front row. Brand new tires. We'll see what the 18 looks like.
The last 2 restarts, the race leader had chosen the inside line. Well, Denny Hamlin has now chosen the outside line. Will the 00 of Cole Custer get help from Ryan Blaney on this restart? That has been how passes have been made as they go into turn 1. Green flag back out in the air.
Denny Hamlin with a good restart, but more importantly, Reddick behind him with a great restart.
Side by side into 1.
Custer's still there, though. This is going to hurt the exit for the 18.
Cole Custer slides in behind him. Blaney now falls behind the 2 of Tyler Reddick.
So this is where Custer has an opportunity. The 18 on the top of the racetrack. Custer cannot take advantage of it that corner.
But he's still right there, 1 car length back.
Under 9 laps to go. The 18 of Denny Hamlin just in front of Cole Custer in the 0-0. Look at the 8, Dale Earnhardt Jr. running in that 6th position.
The 0-0 got a great run off turn 2, back to the bumper. The 18 was inside him, entering the corner, and here he is. So close. I think Denny Hamlin, I thought he had the best car through 1 and 2, but the last time through here, the 0-0 got a great run on corner exit. Let's see if he can do it again.
Oh, that traffic right here. Denny Hamlin, nice job getting by him, but that slowed him up. Fortunately for him, though, Cole Custer got slowed up just as much.
Yeah, could probably a worse spot for Custer.
All right, Jeff, how do you set up Denny Hamlin? If you're Cole Custer, how do you set him up for a pass?
If you're Cole Custer, I just think you have to keep running that bottom line. That's been the best for you all day long. If it doesn't work for for another couple laps, then go to the top. Try something different.
Saw Tyler Reddick in the 2 just behind Cole Custer, sideways coming off at turn 4. He's pushing for all he's worth.
There's traffic last time through the exit of turn 2. This time clear racetrack. Denny Hamlin maintains that 5, 6, maybe even a 7 car length lead as the 0-0 now has to look in his mirror for the 2 of Reddick, who's kind of joined the picture.
Yeah, this battle for second heating up between Tyler Reddick and Cole Custer. I talked to Mike Shipwood, the crew chief for Tyler Reddick, or for Cole Custer rather, and he told me, listen, we've won all the high wear tracks already this year. We won California, we won Chicago. We're going for the trifecta today with Cole Custer. And what would it do, Jeff, for a young driver's confidence if he can beat the hottest guy in the Cup Series? Cole Custer could pass Denny Hamlin for the win here at Darlington.
Yeah, it would be huge, but behind him, you saw Reddick, you saw Blaney trying to lead with a lot of speed, both of them sideways off the corner.
Giving everything they've got. Now, down to 5 laps to go. The gap between 1 and 2, about 4 car lengths.
I think the only thing you can do if you're Custer, this hasn't worked, right? A little bit of gain off turn 2, that makes you want to try it again, right? You gain some off turn 2. Go back to the bottom.
He's closed the gap. Custer stays up high. Still following right in the tire tracks of Denny Hamlin.
Try to drive right up to the edge of grip, not over. You don't want to slide the tires. You got to find that edge without going past. The 0-0 again goes to the bottom on corner entry.
I like that move. That worked for him the last corner. In 1 and 2, it was really good for him. Now you saw he made some gain. Good corner. Now the last time through here, he went to the top in 3 and 4. He should do it again.
He dives down low, but then heads back up toward the wall. Coming up on 3 laps to go.
The goal is to break even with him in 3 and 4. You have an advantage in 1 and 2. Just find a way to break even with Hamlin in 3 and 4. Take this advantage. Look at that center of the corner, how he gains on him. And right here, running that low line is an advantage for Custer. Now, Steve, what can he do to break even?
That's the problem. Last time he chased him in at the top, it didn't seem like it helped. Oh, right there, though, the 18 gets loose. The 0-0 is right on his bumper. I think this is a better set of corners for the 0-0. This is the closest we've seen him entering turn 1. Will he be able to get next to the 18?
You see the 18 loose. So again, run your line. Now the 18 changed his line, took away the 0-0's line getting into turn 3. I'm sorry, turn 1.
But here comes the 0-0. Gets a little bit of a run. The 18 so close to the wall on exit. Coming to the white flag, Rick. Just a few more sets of corners.
How hard does Cole Custer push?
Right in line with you.
Inside of a car length behind him. Coming up on the white flag, 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. Denny Hamlin out in front, 2 car lengths. Cole Custer chasing, closing the gap now as he comes out of 2. Down the backstretch for the final time.
He could get to his rear bumper in the center of 3 and 4.
He dives down low. Will he try to slide up? Not enough room. Denny Hamlin off turn 4. Will hold him off. Hamlin wins again at Darlington.
job, Denny Hamlin. Way to fight all day, buddy. Good job, guys. Hard. Way to go, man. Great job, man.
We mentioned the average finish of Denny Hamlin. It was 2.7 in 11 starts. His average finish 2.7. Well, with that win, it now has moved to 2.5. His average finish in 12 starts at Darlington. The 6th win here for Denny Hamlin in the Xfinity Series. There are places that some people just have a feel for. He's won the Daytona 500 twice. Earlier this year, to start off the season, he was in victory lane at Daytona as you look at his career at Darlington.
Denny Hamlin has always been really good at this racetrack, but at this point in his career, 6 top 5s in a row. Never done that before on the Cup side. And then come to Darlington where you are so good. Knock the win off. Right now, there is no question in my mind that Denny Hamlin is the best he's ever been in his career. And his career is full of stats, tons of wins. The only thing he's missing is a Cup championship.
And I know this is a completely different series, but this instantly makes him my favorite for tomorrow. Twice in his career, he has swept both races at Darlington over the course of the weekend. He could make it 3 times. He's the hottest driver. I mean, in either series, doesn't matter what he's driving, he's on fire. Momentum is real, and this momentum, I believe, will carry to tomorrow.
This one was hard fought. His other 5 wins came from the pole, starting up front. This one, he had to come from the back. Rutledge.
That's right, Rick. From worst to first, Denny Hamlin climbs out with the throwback paint scheme to the guy that you had on your wall growing up, Bill Elliott. You just won your 6th race at Darlington. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. We did not have the best car by any means, but luckily, you know, through the techniques I've learned over so many years, it kind of handicapped us there, and they did a great job, you know, getting this car ready. I mean, I put it behind the 8 ball by putting us in a backup car to begin with, making a big old driver mistake, but proud of this whole Sport Clips team to win on VFW 200 here. Gordon Logan, his whole staff for allowing me to run 1 Xfinity race per year for the last few years, and love that I'm coming here to Darlington to do it.
What do you want to say to those fans who were just like you that were watching as a kid, and now they get to see you out here?
I mean, this is amazing. I mean, to see this turnout here, Darlington gave me my very first start in the Xfinity Series, and what got me my job with Joe Gibbs Racing. So thank you for fans. See you tomorrow. Hopefully do it one more time.
Congratulations, buddy. Dave?
Rutledge, I've caught up with Dale Earnhardt Jr., who said with a chuckle after the checkered flag, "I'll take a water." How much fun did you have today?
I had a lot of fun. I appreciate all these fans coming out here to Darlington. Man, they love this place.
They love you.
Yeah, we love it, man. We love Darlington. Kerry Tharp and all the people doing such a great job. Tomorrow's going to be an awesome day for the whole sport. And proud of Taylor and our whole team for bringing a really good car here. Thanks to Hellman's for allowing us to do the throwback. Shout out to my dad. Also shout out to the Negree family, Ed Negree, Norman Negree, who owned this race car back in '75. Just thanks for everybody's support, and I hope they enjoyed the race. It was a fun one.
Are you pleased with everything you did today, Junior, behind the wheel?
Yeah. You know, you just never know how good you are till you come back and try it. This is elite. You know, these guys are elite. All these guys in this field do this every single week, and they're very, very talented. So to think you can take a whole year off and come back and be good is overthinking it. So you just never know. So I wasn't too sure, but we did all right.
All right, we'll see you in the booth tomorrow. Dale Earnhardt Jr. back in the booth with NBC, back on track today at Darlington.
He cuts himself a little short. Highest finishing junior motorsports driver.
That's right.
Boss comes back, shows him up.
4 cars in the junior motorsports stable at this race, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. was the best finish. Denny Hamlin and team celebrating again at Darlington. He has figured out the track that's too tough to tame, Well, he's getting pretty darn close to taming it. Denny Hamlin, his 6th win here at the Lady in Black.
Here at Darlington on the Mobile One Peacock Pit Box, what a race this crowd saw today. Coming up, what you'll see, except on the West Coast, your local news. Also, IndyCar Series qualifying from Portland. Denny Hamlin does it again. His 6th win here at Darlington. Can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. William Byron, just 21 years old, on the pole for the Southern 500. But we need to hear from today's winner in Victory Lane. That's where we find Marty Snyder.
Yeah, Carissa, no doubt. Familiar territory for Denny Hamlin. Darlington Victory Lane again. Hey, the team's enjoying the celebration. Denny's kind of taking that in for a moment. He only gets 1 shot a year to do this in the Xfinity Series. Am I talking to the same guy who was insistent something was broken with the car for like the first 100 laps of the race?
I couldn't believe it. It was like the left front tire was falling off. It was not good at all, and it didn't get a whole lot better as the day went on, but our track position got a little bit better, and we just made some good adjustments. Ben did a great job getting this car ready and give me an opportunity to sit in it. I thank Gordon and the whole Sport Clips team for letting me come out here. I got to thank Kim, Toyota, Coke, JGR Engines, Mark and the whole team, the Jordan brand, Xfinity, Internet. We know it's fast, and the fans. What a packed crowd today. I mean, this is just a great scene to come out here for Throwback Weekend and see all the fans.
He gets to choose one Xfinity race a year. This is the one he picks, and he wins it again, Kelly. I think he likes this race. What do you think?
So Cole Custer is the runner-up finisher for the 2nd year in a row here at Darlington. Man, you gave Denny Hamlin such a good run there at the end. What, if anything, more could you have done?
Man, I thought I had him, and I really wanted to pass him. I mean, finishing 2nd here really sucks. I mean, this is a place you really want to win at. It's one of the marquee places. So, I don't know, I got it working so good in 1 and 2 on the bottom.